Have you ever wondered about the yellow building that sits at the corner of 39th and Nelson Road, just east of the mouth of Left Hand Canyon in Boulder County, Colorado? It's the Altona Grange. In 1891, members of the community of Altona decided to organize a grange of their own. The Grange movement sprang up after the Civil War to address the needs of farmers and to promote families banding together for the economic and political well-being of the community and agriculture. There were 18 charter members, and the leader of the Grange was the worthy Master William Roberts. They met in the Boulder School for 5 years before building their own hall. In 1894, discussions about constructing their own building started. In 1895, a building fund was established, and in 1896, the Grange Hall was dedicated on July 4th. The total project cost was about $350. Alonzo Allen granted the land where the Grange is located for the grand sum of $2. The construction was done without the benefit of architectural plans, and most of the work was done by the members. The building's vernacular appearance is similar in many ways to the farmhouses and outbuildings nearby. The original siding was milled at the sawmill in Gear Canyon, where Ohio Valley Ranch is today. The following year, 1897, trees were planted, chairs and tables were purchased, and hitching racks were built. After 1900, a separate kitchen was added on the southeast corner of the building. Sheds, which could house as many as 10 teams of horses, were built for people arriving by carriage or wagon. Unfortunately, the sheds blew down in a windstorm around 1915. On December 4th, 1888, members of the community of Altona, dressed in their finest attire, gathered at the Left Hand Grange in Niwot. At the time the Altona Grange was founded, travel was still done by horse and stagecoach. In this image, Altona Grange charter members Clyde and Louis Jane are shown on one of their stagecoaches in Left Hand Canyon. Other early members of the Altona Grange, pictured from left to right, include Fred Bader, who was the first treasurer, Donald Arbuthnot, and Fred Arbuthnot. During its early days, the Grange had an orchestra, a chorus, horseshoe teams, and softball, as well as a square dance team. Performances and dances were a big part of Grange activities, so in the 1920s, the stage area was remodeled. Oyster suppers were a favorite fundraiser to pay for improvement projects for the Grange. Oysters were $1 a gallon at the time. Pictured here is the Altona Grange degree team, winners of second place at the state convention in 1934. A Grange degree team is responsible for presenting the Grange degrees to new members, teaching them about the organization's values and traditions through ritual and symbolism. They learn and memorize the specific charges, rituals, and ceremonies for each degree. In the 1930s, the Grange installed a tennis court, an unusual amenity for a Grange. The money for the court came from a bequest to the Grange from the estate of Fred Howe, a frequent participant in Grange activities and a tennis enthusiast. His farm was located a mile north of the Grange. The result was a regulation concrete tennis court to the east of the building. Alas, the court never hosted many tennis matches. It seems that the rest of the Grangers didn't share Fred's enthusiasm for the game, and it morphed into a popular horseshoe pitching venue. Here's what's left of the tennis court in 2025. The 1930s also saw the electrification of the Altona Grange. The first lamps in the building were iron chandeliers and bracket lamps fueled by kerosene. In 1933, a Delco 32-volt light plant was purchased, and the generator and batteries were housed in a concrete blockhouse to the east of the Grange. In 1940, the REA came to the area and replaced the Delco system. This image also shows the success of the asbestos siding salesman. The building was clad with asbestos shingles in 1948. In 2025, the concrete blockhouse that housed the generator and batteries still stands to the east of the Grange. As World War II came to a close, In 1945, discussions began about expanding the building to include a dining and activity area. In 1947, the Grangers dug a basement, poured concrete, and moved the existing building 20 feet to the north where it sits today. Two additions were added to the east and west sides of the building. On the west, for a bigger stage, and on the east, enclosing a wooden porch. For a while, the basement served as a 40-foot rifle range, and the NRA sponsored a rifle club there. The mid-1960s saw the arrival of indoor bathrooms and the removal of the old outhouses. The post-war period marked a decline in membership for the Altona Grange. A Daily Camera article from December 12, 1976 states, "Altona Grange has about 120 members, down from a high of 300, but fewer than 25 attended the December 4th Christmas party meeting. 50's is young for a Grange member around here," said Helen Bishop of the Altona Grange near Lyons. The article goes on to state that, once the center of social life in many rural areas, the Grange is competing with other organizations, school activities, and even television. In 1999, the Altona Grange became a Boulder County landmark due to its historical and cultural significance. The landmarking memo noted that only about 10 remaining members gather at a Longmont restaurant for quarterly informal business meetings and lunch. The hall is occasionally rented for social events, but Grange meetings are no longer held there. In 2006, the remaining Grange members initiated discussion of future restoration. 2006 also marked the beginning of volunteer work by Grange members. In 2019, the restoration finally got underway. Historic Boulder played a part in the restoration by helping the Grange to secure 2 Boulder County grants worth almost $20,000. This view of the Grange from the fall of 2020 reveals the original siding with the asbestos shingles removed. In 2021, members of the Altona Grange formed a 501c3 nonprofit, the Altona Preservation Alliance, to help facilitate the rehabilitation of the building. Today, the Grange and its members are reinvigorated. The Grange holds regular meetings in the building and also offers it for rent as an event venue. You can visit their website at www.altonagrange.org.